1.
Good day. My name is C.H. Martel, and I'm the author of Satan's Trinity, Hitler, Stalin, and Muhammad. You can locate the book at satanstrinity.com. Today I'd like to talk to you about the foundation of Islam. This is called the 5 pillars of Islam. You can think of it as replacing the 10 commandments in the Western tradition. The 5 pillars are Shahada, which is a statement of faith. It's a mere 16, sometimes 17 words. After that you have Zadat, which is the giving to charity or alms, usually 2.5% of income. The next one is Salat, which is the required 5 prayers per day, followed by Sawan, which is the annual celebration of Ramadan and fasting. And the last one is Hajj, which is a pilgrimage that a Muslim is supposed to conduct if he has the resources one time in his life. On the surface, these 5 principles appear to be quite benign. They don't seem to trouble anyone. But on closer examination, you'll find that there's leaves much to be desired in these 5 pillars of Islam. Let's take the bottom 3. Salat, the 5 daily prayers, which also include a ritualistic washing or ablution before each set of prayers. Every time you pray and do this ritualistic washing, it takes about a half hour. So altogether you consume about 2.5 hours a day in these 5 prayers. After that, Sawan, which is the celebration of Ramadan. This was adopted from pagan Arabic traditions. It is the 13th month of the lunar calendar, and it's a celebration of the moon god in the pagan Arabic tradition. The moon god actually is Allah, and Muhammad adopted this moon god, brought with him the crescent moon, and called him Allah. The third is the Hajj, which is this once-in-a-lifetime pilgrimage to the holy city of Mecca, if the person can afford it. What these 3 items are not values, they are rituals. This makes them quite distinct from the 10 Commandments, which speaks of values. So 2/3 of the foundation of Islam is based on ritual, and it was done very cleverly. First, the individual Muslim is required to pray 5 times a day, consuming up to 2.5 hours each day, and then he looks forward to once a year celebrating Ramadan, which lasts for a month, and you fast during the daytime for 1 lunar month, which is about 28 days long. And on top of that, you have a lifetime goal of saving up enough money to make a pilgrimage to Mecca. So you're always reaching for something. And once Islam has a Muslim conditioned to these 3 rituals, Islam has this person right where he wants him. Our other 2 protagonists in the book, Hitler and Stalin, would just simply be green with envy if they could have come up with such ritualistic control over their subjects. But Islam does it well, and has been for the last 1400 years. After our rituals, we come to Zadat, which is the giving of alms or to charity. And this is indeed a value. However, that's all we know about it when we look at the 5 pillars of Islam. All it says is that you must give to charity. But once you join, then you find out in the Quran that this is rather problematic. There are 3 ingredients to this charity which eliminate this thing as being a value. The first is that you may only give to Muslims. Muslims represent 25% of the world population, about 1.6 billion. The other 75% of the world's population, and it doesn't matter who they are, whether you're a Taoist or a Jain or a Sikh or a Christian or a Zoroastrian, as a Muslim you cannot give charity to these people. It is forbidden. The next thing we learn in the Quran is that giving to jihad, or everlasting warfare, is considered a charity. And the final thing is that if you can, perchance, succor an infidel, you and me, into giving to the support of a Muslim, then you don't have to give anything either. This is what happens now in Palestine. 60% of the Palestinian Authority's gross domestic product is welfare, is contributions from you and me. The Saudis don't give anything to the Palestinians. They let you and me give this money to the Palestinians. The final thing, Shahada, is the statement of faith. This is how you become a Muslim, if you're so inclined. It's simple 16 words which say, I profess there is one God but God, and that Muhammad is his messenger. Sometimes they put in Muhammad is his last messenger. Last is very important in Islam, and we'll talk about that some other time. This actually was lifted from the 10 Commandments, where it says that you shall have no other God before me. But there is something quite pernicious going on here. By tradition, Moses went up Mount Sinai, received the 10 Commandments from God, brought them down, gave them to the Hebrew people. But what Moses did not do was include himself in the 10 Commandments. Muhammad does include himself. He puts himself on the same level as his God. Yes, he calls himself a messenger, but he's right there. You read, there is one God and only one God, and there is Muhammad. They're right there. Throughout the Quran, whenever Muhammad's name appears, it'll appear with Allah. And whenever Allah appears, also Muhammad appears. Again, our old buddies, Stalin and Hitler, would have been quite envious. That's all for today. Thank you for your attention. I would like to give a shout out to my alma mater, the 4th Marines, Semper Fi.